free stirrups. Where do they go from? Which side to which side? Always medial to lateral. Why is that important? Right. Most commonly, ankles are sprained in inversion, which is opposite of this. So we're pulling this foot into eversion, meaning pulling the heel to the outside to help prevent an eversion sprain. Okay? These stirrups are always crossing the malleoli, which are these two bones, and they're fanning just a little bit. Okay? And then we're going to do an anchor strip. Now, another option here that you could have done is a stirrup and then an anchor strip, a stirrup, then an anchor strip, a stirrup, then an anchor strip. I like to do all three of my stirrups and then anchor them down, but you can make it into your tape job right there, okay? Then I'm going to start covering this all the way down. And these are just to cover this ankle and create a base for when we're going to put the heel locks on. You want to cover each strip about 50% of the last one. Notice that on this last one, I started coming from the back and I'm laying it from the Achilles forward, okay? I'm creating a long tail here, wrapping that around to the foot, and then finishing on the other side. This is because I feel that I'm able to get my tape to lay more flat along the Achilles, doing it from the back, okay? Also, when you get low enough, these do not need to touch up front. That's a common misconception and it gets you guys into trouble. When you lay it here and then you try to like bring it up here and make it touch, then you get all this gapping and stuff. That does not need to happen, okay? So these are called either cover strips or C-strips or horseshoes. And you think of what they're shaped like, horseshoes or C-strips make sense, right? Okay, now we're low enough on the Achilles that this is gonna give us a really good base for a heel lock, all right? And this is what a heel lock looks like. Right from the top, it's shaped like a teardrop. You're gonna go down and around the heel, cup it, and end in the same spot, okay? And then you're gonna tear the tape. You're gonna do 2 of these on each side, alternating each time. Start at the top, down, cup the heel, come back up and finish, okay? And you're gonna do that on each side twice. Do those make sense? Okay, these are other ones that are kind of hard, so help each other out here. Make sure that, I'll go over some common mistakes now that we have 2 good ones on each side. You wanna make sure that you're not just barely grabbing the heel, okay, like that, okay? Not a good sign, right here, okay? Also, you want to make sure that you're not going too wide to where it's like this, okay? So you're really, I'm exaggerating this, right? But you're really trying to just cup that heel nice and tight, and you'll feel it as you're guinea pigging for each other. You'll feel how much that locks in, okay, when you do that. Okay, from here, we're going to do 2 figure eights. I like to start mine from the arch. So I'm going to get a fairly long tail. I'm going to lay it right here in the arch. We're never going to go past the 5th metatarsal, which is right here. You can feel that bony prominence right there. Your tape needs to be centered on that, and that's your lowest tape. Why is that important?
You don't want to cut off the blood flow to it?
Cut off blood flow, which can happen really easy because your foot spreads when you step, right? So if you go further down than that bone, the foot's not going to be able to spread, and then it's going to start to cramp and get too tight, and your toes fall asleep, right? So we're always going to center that tape right there on that 5th metatarsal. So with this long tail, I wrap it around to the top of the foot, and then I wrap on this side. See how that's a circle? That's the first part of my figure 8, right? Then it's going to go behind the ankle and end right at that crossover, and that's my figure 8. See how those 2 loops make a figure 8? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to do 2 of those, so I'm going to do 1 more. See how I have this little hole right here? I'm going to try to cover that because we don't want to have any holes in our tape job. The only ones that we want or that are okay to have are this one right on the top of the heel or on the base of the heel. Okay, so I'm going to cover this one next. Again, nice long tail, cover that, loop up to the front of the foot. There's my first loop, then behind the ankle, and there's my second loop. Okay, notice how I'm kind of letting the tape go where it wants. I kind of urge it to go where I want it to go, but at the same time, it's all about angles and all about letting the tape go where it wants. The more I fight it, the more wrinkles I'm going to get, okay? Now, this looks pretty clean right down here on the foot. If I wanted to, in this case I wouldn't, but if I wanted to, I could do a cover-up right down here on the foot and make that look like real nice and pretty, okay? But I was totally okay with how it looked. But now, just to make everything look beautiful, because athletic trainers usually judge by their tape jobs, I'm going to go back to the beginning and start from the top down and just cover it. Just do cover strips, okay? So right here at the top, There's my first one. Why are we covering from the top down? So that when you pull on your sock, you only have one edge to get caught on, right? Instead of every single one. So I cover it down to right there, and there's my tape job. Yeah? Questions on that? Okay, so I'm now